I'm glad to see you on the second lesson. Here I will give you a quick overview of what Notion database is, and we will add the most essential part for the Life Tracker project, that is a database for daily logs. If you haven't used Notion databases before, you will see Notion capabilities from completely new perspective. As for me, the databases is the most powerful feature of the app. So let's spend a minute to overview what Notion databases can do. Database in Notion is the way to structure and organize any similar pieces of data. Let's see an example. This is a movies database. Every row represents a distinct movie, and columns describe properties of movies, like genre, year of production, how do I rate it, etc. Quite similar to what Google Tables or Excel can do. In some ways, Notion is less capable and less flexible than these tools, but it has a great advantage over them in how you can customize the way your data is shown and operated. Also, unlike Google Tables, every database record in Notion is actually a separate page. You can open it, add some content into it, and add it as any other Notion page. You actually can put inside another database, so Notion gives you huge freedom on structuring your data. From my experience, when it comes to tracking something in Notion, you will end up with creating at least one database. So I invite you to create a database that will serve for tracking your goals defined in the previous lesson. To create a database block, let's use the slash menu and choose Database Inline option. Let's give it a name, Daily Log, and look at these predefined properties. Any newly created database in Notion has these two properties or columns, name and tags. Any property in Notion databases belongs to one of predefined property types. You can see it by clicking on a property name. And here in the Type menu, you can see all the available property types. I can change a column type to any other one from the list. Property types are pretty intuitive. There are simple properties like text, number, select, date or checkbox. There are auto-filled columns like created time, created by, and some others. And there are some advanced properties, formula, relation, and rollup. For the Life Tracker, we will use these property types. Every type has its own unique icon, so you can get the property type just by looking at the icon to the left of its name, unless you decide to customize it. Notion icon library is available here as well. We don't need tags for our system, so we can just delete it. Name property is a special one. It is title. Title property can never be deleted or hidden. And you cannot add another title column. It is unique and created automatically by Notion. And now let's add a new column to the database. As we're building a system for daily tracking, we definitely need a date column here. But instead of using plain date property, let's add created time column. This one will be automatically filled by Notion for every new log record. Now all of these records contain the same created time values. Let's leave only one record for now. In fact, this title column is not very useful here, but we cannot get rid of it. For tracking systems, I usually fill it with inline timestamp. This is a special inline block in Notion which shows a timestamp relatively to today. To add it, you have to type @, and type a date, for instance, March 15, or a day, like last Friday, for instance, or today. Tomorrow this title will magically transform to yesterday. The day after tomorrow it will transform to the name of its day of week, and after some time you will see a date name instead of this relative name. By the way, you can use such blocks not only within databases, but also within some text. And you can actually add a reminder to it, which is pretty cool Notion feature. And now let's do a very cool thing which will save you and me from a tedious work of adding new records and filling their titles every day. First of all, Notion allows to add templates for its databases. Templates allow you to pre-fill some data and thus to save some time on creating new records. In our case, adding timestamp as a title would save us some time. So let's add a new template with inline timestamp as the title. Choose this option, Date when duplicated. Thus, the timestamp will reflect the date of record creation. Another option will stick to the date of creation the template itself. And that's not what we want, so the first option. Now, if I add a record based on this new template, it already has the title field. You can make this template to be the default one. And I will delete this second record. Another advantage of using templates in Notion is possibility to set the schedule for creating new records. You can set Notion to create new records daily, weekly, or monthly. Actually, you can set up your own schedule schema because there are additional settings inside of every of these options. Like here, you can set particular days of week in which you want your records to be created. And as this class project is supposed to be used on a daily basis, let's enable our template to be activated every day at midnight. Click Save, and now you can see these blue arrows near the template name, which means that there is some schedule set for creating new records based on this template. We can't check how it works right away, but tomorrow you will see a new record in your class project. To wrap up this lesson, let's configure sorting rules to make sure that all the records will always be displayed in the correct order. Let's add a sorting by created time. I prefer to see the latest days on the top, so descending order works great for me here. If you prefer to see the oldest day on the top, go with sorting in ascending order. Okay, we're done with this lesson, and the project has got its most essential part, that is the database for daily logs. And in the next lesson we will finally add our first progress bar to the project, so see you there!